Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. You know that horrible sinking pit in your stomach when you walk into a room full of people? Yeah, if you've ever felt that, you are in exactly the right place today. We are going to transform that social anxiety into completely unshakable social confidence. And honestly, the best part? We're not talking about changing your personality at all. We are going to build a proven step by step roadmap of just really subtle behaviors that will completely shift how people perceive you. So let's set the scene a bit. Picture this. It's your first day back at school, or maybe you're walking into a totally new work environment. You walk in feeling pretty hopeful, right? But slowly, that hope just kind of fades because you feel like you aren't making an impression on anyone. You're standing there, feeding right into the awkwardness, and inevitably, you start wondering to yourself, do people even like me? Okay, let's dive into this. Because the truth, and it's perfectly captured in this quote from our source material today, is that social charisma is not some magical personality trait you're either born with or you aren't. It is literally just a series of small, adjustable behaviors. It's not about who you are at your core, it's about the subtle signals you're broadcasting without even realizing it. So take a breath. You don't need to become a completely different person, you just need to tweak those signals. To help you do exactly that, we've structured a step-by-step chronological roadmap to guide you through literally any interaction. We're going to cover 1, the approach, 2, the opening, 3, the engagement, and 4, the anchor. All right, kicking things off with phase 1, the approach. Step 1 on our roadmap is all about matching their energy. Look, before you even stress about what clever thing you're going to say, you need to calibrate how you're presenting yourself to the specific person you're approaching. This concept is called mirroring. Say someone is speaking really fast and they're super excited. You just speed up a bit to meet them. If they're calm and measured, you naturally bring your own energy down. Neurologically speaking, this builds immediate subconscious rapport. As humans, we naturally trust people who act and feel like we do. It sends a massive signal of safety and connection before the conversation even really gets going. And this brilliantly illustrates a really crucial caveat from our source. You absolutely don't want to match them at a full 100%, especially if their energy is super intense or negative. Think about it. If someone is panicking and you match that panic at 100%, well, that just creates chaos. But if you match them at 80%, meaning you meet them with this calm, controlled energy that acknowledges their intensity without matching the panic, they immediately feel supported, they feel grounded, you quickly become the person people naturally want to be around, purely because you make them feel manageable. Moving right along to phase 2, the opening. Step 2 on our roadmap is something the source calls the name sandwich. I know, it sounds a bit silly, but it works like crazy. It simply means intentionally using a person's name at the very beginning and then again at the very end of your interaction. The reason this is such a cornerstone of social confidence is just pure biology. Hearing our own name activates the pleasure centers in our brain. It is literally neurologically satisfying. Now, a quick warning from the source material, do not overdo this. If you're saying their name every other sentence, you are going to sound like a try-hard salesperson. Just use it as the bread of your conversation sandwich, right? And hey, if you're terrible with names, here's a fantastic hack. When someone introduces themselves, immediately use their name in your very next sentence. So if they say, "Hi, I'm Christiana," you instantly reply, "It's nice to meet you, Christiana. I'm Doug." It locks it right into your memory and builds an instant bridge. Let's put you in a busy coffee shop for a second. You run into an acquaintance. Instead of just a generic, "Hey, good to see you," you open with, "Hey, Sarah, good to see you." You chat for a bit about the crazy weather, maybe a new TV show. Then, to close it out, you don't just say, "See you later." You say, "Great talking to you, Sarah. Let's catch up soon." This completely transforms a totally standard random interaction into something that feels intentional, personal, and specifically about them. Which brings us to phase 3, the engagement. Moving along our roadmap, step 3 is deepening the conversation. To do this effectively, the source outlines 2 incredibly powerful behaviors that work together to keep the other person fully, neurologically engaged with you. The first behavior is a literal 2-second delay. Just 1, 2. Did you feel the power of that silence? Delaying your response by literally just 2 seconds after the other person finishes speaking is an absolute game changer. It proves that you're actually thinking about what they said, rather than just waiting around for your turn to talk. See, most people suffer from what's known as the conversational reflex. They immediately jump in the very millisecond a sentence ends. Charismatic people, though, they choose the 2-second delay. The creator of our source actually tested this out in their own life. They stopped rushing their responses and consciously started using this pause.
The result? People literally started saying to them, "I feel like you actually get me." Same person, totally different behavior, massive result. Now, what's really interesting about this example is how it solves the second part of engagement, preventing dead ends. Take a look at this typical exchange. Went hiking. Cool. That right there is a total conversation killer. To fix this, you ask the follow-up question. Oh, nice. Where'd you hike? Are you training for something? People are honestly starving for genuine curiosity because, let's face it, most people just want to talk about themselves. Digging one layer deeper unlocks a whole new level of connection. The source author practiced this exact technique with their Uber drivers. Instead of just sitting in awkward silence, and they were blown away by the incredible stories people shared just because someone finally asked a follow-up. And finally, we enter phase 4, the anchor. Step 4 is all about leaving a lasting impression. People remember exactly how you made them feel. And this step is entirely focused on ensuring that positive feeling lingers long after you walk away. Once again, we have 2 specific behaviors from our source to achieve this. The first one is remembering the throwaway details. If a coworker casually mentions they're a bit nervous about a Wednesday dentist appointment, make a point to ask them about it on Thursday. Or if a friend mentions they love lavender lattes, surprising them with one 3 months later, it honestly feels like magic to them. You don't need a photographic memory. Just try to file away one small detail per conversation. Bringing it up later literally lights up their brain because it proves they were truly seen and heard. The final behavior is mastering the genuine compliment. So the crucial point here is that generic compliments like nice shirt or cool haircut, they're fine, but they're totally forgettable. A truly charismatic compliment focuses on who a person is, their character, or their specific choices. When someone says to you, "You make people feel like they're the only person in the room when you talk to them," that sticks with you for years, right? Because it was deeply specific to their character. Here is another perfect example. The way you handled that situation was really impressive. Look at how different that feels. By paying attention to their skills, how they handled a problem, or just their general vibe, you are offering a compliment that hits so much differently. It shows you aren't just looking at them, you are actually observing them. These are the kinds of words that stay with a person for a lifetime. So, we've walked the entire roadmap together, from mirroring their energy right at the approach to using that clever name sandwich in the opening, moving through the 2-second delay and follow-up questions during engagement, all the way to anchoring it all with throwaway details and character compliments. Remember, building social confidence is never about trying to be someone else. It's just a simple adjustment of these small, intentional behaviors. So I'll leave you with this provocative question. Which of these small steps will you try in your very next conversation today? Don't wait around, pick just one, apply it, and watch how differently people respond to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.